You're tuned to Jazz Haven, broadcasting live from studios in downtown New Haven, Connecticut at WNHH 103.5 FM, on the web at newhavenindependent.org, and the WETF Jazz Station 105.7 FM, South Bend, Indiana. Streaming at jazzradio.wetf.org. You got Stan, the man with the jazz.
ya bop, shoo ya bop, shoo ya bop, shoo ya bop, shoo be doo boo. Ba doo ya doo doo ya doo doo ya doo doo ya doo doo be doo. Shaka ga doo ya boo be doo ba doo ya be bop be boom be ba. So we boo be doo ya bop, we be doo ya boom be boom be ah. Say ya de boom boom be be doo be. Shabba ba dee be be doo be. Shabba ba dee be be doo be. I ain't mad at you, pretty baby. Don't be mad at me. Shabba doo doo boo, see you doo dee. Jean Malachi. Crazy Joe Benjamin. Roy Haynes. Sa hui 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 booby, sa hui doom baby hoo, sa ba do ya doom baby doom baby doom baby you be, oh be do you be, sa wa di hoo, sa wi booby do you booby doom baby, sa wa wi do ba di you ba wi you ba wi you be baby doom baby you boo, some people do ba ya, see you be, top of the be ya, shall we do, shall we?
Sassy Sarah Vaughan there. No translation needed. Tune was Shoo Ya Bop. Easy for you to say, right? And she is accompanied there by John Malachi on piano. And she called him Crazy Joe Benjamin on the bass, Roy Haynes on the drums. That's off a 1954 release called Swingin' Easy on the Verve record label. And Jazz Haven kicked off with the Deeper Jazz Orchestra with the tune called East Coast Andy. And that was written by Lee Pilzer, who is there on the baritone sax, with Jamie Dauber doing solo on the trumpet, and the band leader Sherry Miracle on the drums. It's from their 25th anniversary project, and was East Coast Andy. Today is March 8th, 2023, International Women's Day, and we're featuring all women. So it's the great women of jazz here. Embrace the equity. From 1956, trombonist Melba Liston.
do something for you now. We haven't heard a girl sing it, and since it's so popular, we'd like to try and do it for you. We hope we remember all the words. Oh, the shark has pearly teeth, dear, and he shows them pearly white. Just a jackknife has McHeath, dear, and he keeps it out of sight. Oh, the shark bites with his teeth, dear. Scarlet billows start to spread. Fancy gloves, though, where's McHeath, dear? So there's not a trace of red. Ah, Sunday morning, eyes of body oozing life. Someone sneaking round the corner. Tell me, could it be Mackinac? Oh, what's the next chorus to this song now? This is the one now. I don't know, but it was a swinging tune, and it's a hit soon. So we tried to do Mackinac. Ah, Louis Miller, oh, something about cash. Yes, Miller, he was spinning that trash. And McHeath, dear, he spends like a sailor. Tell me, could that boy do something rash? Oh, Bobby Darin and Louis Armstrong, they made a record. Oh, but they did. And now Ella and her fellas, we're making a wreck. What a wreck of Mackinac. Oh, Snooky Dodgy. Just a jackknife has McHeath, dear, and I don't know. So you've heard it. Yes, we swung it, and we tried to. Yes, we sung it. You won't recognize it. It's a surprise hit. This tune called Mac the Night. And so we leave you in Berlin town. Yes, we've swung old Mac. We swung old Mackie down. For the Darren fans and for the Louis Armstrong fans too. We told you, look out, look out, look out. Old Mackie's back in town.
That's a classic Ella Fitzgerald recording from 1960, Back the Knife, where she created her own lyrics there. Ella in Berlin on the Verve record label, and she has Paul Smith and his trio, Smith on piano, Wilfred Middlebrooks on the bass, and Gus Johnson on drums. And we started that set with 1956 recording from trombonist Melba Liston. That was her only recording as a leader. She is mostly known as a composer and arranger. Did a lot of that with Dizzy Gillespie's band. The tune we heard was Insomnia, and she had Frank Rehack on trombone, Marty Flax on the baritone, Walter Davis Jr. on piano, Nelson Boyd bass, Charlie Persip on the drums. It's Jazz Haven here, turning you on to that midweek jazz break just when you need it. All day and all night on WETF, the jazz station. Streaming at Jazz Radio, WETF.org. And WNHH, New Haven's home for community radio, 103.5 FM. Streaming at NewHavenIndependent.org. Here's West Hartford's Alexa Tarantino on the alto sax. alto saxophonist Alexa Tarantino, and she's from West Hartford, Connecticut. And she's got some talented sidemen there. Christian Sands on piano, Joe Martin bass, Rudy Royston drums, and Nick Finzer on the trombone. It was her composition, Breeze, from 2019 release called Winds of Change on Positone. And we started that set with Alexa Tarantino. So Jazz Haven continues. The Jazz Haven Jazz Calendar is a quick rundown of some of the jazz in the area this week. It's Wednesday, and each and every Wednesday you can join jazz drummer Gil Hawkins and his jazz collective at the Owl Shop, 268 College Street, downtown New Haven. Performances from 9 until midnight, and no cover charge, NMCC. Also on Wednesday, that's tonight, bassist Jeff Fuller and friends. That's Darren Litzy on piano, Ben Bolello on the drums. They return to La Zingara Restaurant, 8 Barnum Square, Bethel, as part of the Bethel Jazz Series. It's from 6:30 to 9:15 p.m. It's cabaret-style seating. Tickets start at $15. Call 203-247-4273 for tickets and information. On Friday, March 10th, for that unique listening experience, join jazz historian Frank Cochran for Happy Hour Jazz at the Institute Library, 847 Chapel Street, downtown New Haven, from 5:30 to 7. You can listen to rare and classic jazz recordings from the Institute's extensive vinyl collection. Each week features a different artist or genre, and this week, 3 female pianist composers, Mary Lou Williams, Toshiko Akiyoshi, and Joanne Brackeen. It's free, and you can bring your own munchies and drink. Donations are accepted. On Saturday, March 11th, it's that historic jazz jam at Cafe 9, 250 State Street, downtown New Haven, from 4 to 7 p.m. All musicians are welcome to sit in after the first set. NMCC. And this week it's hosted by Dr. G, guitarist Gary Grippo with Barry Rees on drums and trumpet, Jeff Fuller on the bass. Also on Saturday, up at the Buttonwood Tree, 605 Main Street, Middletown, it's the Quintet Altus, featuring New Haven area drummer Ryan Sands, younger brother of Christian, and a front line with 3 horns. For tickets and information, call 860-347-4957. Music begins at 8 p.m. On Sunday, for that jazz brunch, go to the Lobster Shack, located at 3 Cozy Beach Avenue, East Haven. Featured artists are bassist Jeff Fuller and guitarist Michaela Capola. For reservations and information, call 203-483-8414. No music cover, NMCC. And on Monday, once again, it's Pat Todd's Tuxedo Junction, that swinging 17-piece big band at the Guilford VFW Hall, 104 Mill Road, Guilford, from 7 to 8:30 p.m. No music cover. Dancing on Monday nights and featured basis. There is also Jeff Fuller. On Tuesday, March 14th, join vocalist Kevin St. James and his quintet at Christopher Martin's 860 State Street, New Haven. Music is from 11 to p.m., 11 from 8 to 11 p.m. No music cover, NMCC. That concludes the jazz calendar for the week. Go to jazzhaven.org for the complete calendar and updates. No excuse, check out some live jazz this week. It's America's only original art form. Here's vocalist Mary Stallings.
His gaze swept over me like a slow hot wind. Someday it's too warm to fight a slow hot wind. There in the shade, like a cool drink waiting, he sat with slow fire in his eyes, just waiting. Someday it's too hard to fight a slow hot wind.
That's Shirley Scott, and in the 1950s and 60s, she was known as the Queen of the Organ, and she's there on the Hammond B3 organ with George Duvivier on bass, Arthur Edgehill on the drums. That's off her release from 1960 called Like Cozy, and it's on the Prestige record label. My Heart Stood Still. We started that set with Mary Stallings from a 2001 recording live at the Village Vanguard. And she's got Eric Reed on piano, Ron Blake on the tenor saxophone, Vicente Archer bass, and Carl Allen on the drums. Jazz Haven here, where you hear new notes, blue notes, all that jazz.
say either and I say either. You say neither and I say neither. Either, either, neither, neither. Let's call the whole thing off. You like potato and I like potato. You like tomato and I like tomato. Potato, potato, tomato, tomato. Let's call the whole thing off. But oh, if we call the whole thing off, then we must part. And oh, if we ever part, then that might break my heart. So if you like pajamas and I like pajamas, I'll wear pajamas and give up pajamas. For we know we need each other, so we better call the calling off. Let's call the whole thing off. You say laughter and I say laughter. You say after and I say after. Laughter, laughter, after. Let's call the whole thing off. You like vanilla and I like vanilla. You sarsaparilla and I sarsaparilla. Vanilla, vanilla, chocolate, strawberry. Let's call the whole thing off. But oh, if we call the whole thing off, then we must part. And no, if we ever part, then that might break my heart. So if you go for oysters and I go for oysters, I'll order oysters and counsel the oysters. For we know we need each other, so we better call the calling off. Let's call the whole thing off.
Lady Day there from 1957 with an all-star cast there. Ben Webster on the tenor saxophone, Harry Sweets Edison on trumpet, Jimmy Rolls piano, Barney Kessel guitar, Ray Brown bass, and Larry Bunker on the drums. That's off a release on Verve called Body and Soul. Let's call the whole thing off, composed by Gershwin Brothers, George and Ira. And we started that set with alto saxophonist Tia Fuller. And Tia Fuller was the alto saxophone player in Beyonce's all-female band, early part of the 20th century here. And the 21st century. Tia Fuller, the tune we heard was her composition, Simplicity. Simplicity, or Simplicity, if you want to say it like that. Off her 2012 release called Angelic Warrior on the Mack Avenue label. And her sister, Shammy Royston, was there on piano. She had Mimi Jones on bass, Shirazette Tynan on percussion, and brother-in-law Rudy Royston on the drums. It's all women here on Jazz Haven. Embrace the equity. It's International Women's Day. And we want to thank you for listening to Jazz Haven, broadcasting from studios in downtown New Haven, Connecticut, streaming at newhavenindependent.org and the Jazz Station at Jazz Radio, WETF.org. And your host has been me, Stan the Man. And we hope you've enjoyed the music. We've had a great time playing it for you, and we look forward to the next time. And we'll see you on the radio. So it's International Women's Day. We want you all to go out and celebrate women. And taking us home, we've got a group of women who are 7 of them who call themselves Artemis. It's Renee Roslis on piano, Annette Cohen on clarinet, Melissa Aldana tenor sax, Ingrid Jensen trumpet, Notiko Ueda on bass, Allison Miller on the drums, and the tune is Stevie Wonder's tune, It's Magic. And doing the vocal is Cecile McLaurin Sylvan.
If it's magic, then why can't it be everlasting? Like the sun that always shines, like the poet's endless rhyme, like the galaxies in time. If it's pleasing, then why can't it be never leaving? Like the day that never fails, like on seashores there are shells, like the time that always tells. It holds the key to every heart throughout the universe. It fills you up without a bite and quenches every thirst. So, if it's special, then with it, why aren't we as careful as making sure we dress in style, posing pictures with a smile, keeping danger from a child? It holds the key to every heart throughout the universe. It fills you up without a bite and quenches every thirst. So, if it's magic, why can't we make it everlasting? Like the lifetime of the sun, it will leave no heart undone. For there's enough for everyone.
COVID may not stop a baby's heart? Isn't a child with a rising fever, cough, and chills enough to make your heart skip a beat? Children are 19% of reported COVID cases, with higher rates in Hispanic and Black children. Vaccinated 6 months to 5-year-olds are 80% less likely to get COVID, which means 80% healthier New Haven 1-year-olds and 100% happier New Haven parents. To learn more, visit nhvvax.org.
Hi, this is Steph, and you're listening to WNHHLP 103.5 FM, broadcasting from New Haven, Connecticut.
This is where the big boys play, huh? We ain't here to play.
They act like they got it and flaunt it. They saw us, then they torn it. They don't want us as a problem. We don't see them as opponents. Tell boy, tell them boys hold us. We ain't here to play. You better act like you know this. We was always on the out to take over, looking like 96.
Con tasas más altas en niños hispanos y africanos americanos, los niños vacunados de 6 meses a 5 años tienen 80% menos probabilidad de contraer COVID. Para obtener más información, vaya a nhbvax.org.
Me vieron a mí, no mi adicción. Fueron honestos conmigo.
Dijeron que no sería fácil, no me dejaron rendirme.
El equipo de trabajo fue generoso y compasivo. Fueron firmes cuando necesitaron serlo.
Aprovecha la oportunidad, cree en ti mismo. Si usted, un miembro